Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there. So you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on other tier, if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Welcome to Reality Tea times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are finally talking about Hunt for Love. Oh, guys, this is so good. This is so good. This show is so good. It's so good. It's so bad. It's like candy when it gets stuck in your teeth and it gives you cavities. But it was worth it. So we don't have any hot goss in this episode. The only thing, again, I'll mention Patreon if you want to be involved in what we're doing this month for our true crime documentary, which is again on the third tier. We are doing Escaping Twin Flames this month. We did the bonus episode of the first episode of that documentary was released on the main feed last week. But again, if you want to listen to more, everything will be on the Patreon, exclusive to Patreon. Episode 2 and 3 is probably already available as you're listening to this. So yeah, that's basically that. And again, you go to patreon.com/realityt times 2 and join the fun over there. Okay, guys, let's not waste time, y'all. Let's get into this. We're doing only episode 1 in this one because there's so much. So let's get into it. We start off with Chantel. She's here. She says, since her divorce and her trying to date and all that, the dating pool in Atlanta has piss in it. So it ain't going good. She started duty dating, which I think she made up, basically meaning you date even if you don't want to. That sounds like Mama Karen, man. Honestly. You don't need to date if you don't want to. Like, you don't need to. If you want to stay single because you should heal after being married to the same person for 7 years and he broke your heart. And that's his marriage for 7 years. Or were they together for 7 years? Maybe they were together for 7 years. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? So it's like, give yourself some time. Duty dating, girl? Not me, not I. So she says, I want to not have a fixer-upper. She wants to have a turnkey. Y'all, did y'all notice she used real estate lingo? Did y'all notice this? Need I say more? Anyways, she says, I want a man with the whole package. With a package. Listen, the package is important. It really is. Uh-huh. Anyway, we got that. So then we move on. We have Tiffany. She says, I'm single. I haven't dated in over a year. She's like, what's more than single? Maybe super fucking single? Yeah. I mean, I don't think that classifies her as being super fucking single. She's just been, taking care of herself. And that's what Chantel needs to do. She could learn a thing or two. Anyways, then we have, ugh, Rob. Let's just let's just do this. He sees one of the event managers she's beautiful, but she's not here for this shit. She's not here for your shit. She's literally like just trying to do a job. And he's like, God damn. She's hot, he's into it, and he's like, how you doing? Type situation. But she's brought him a gift. This is when we find out about this masquerade ball they're going to be going to a little later. We're going to learn a little bit more about that in a second. But it's, as I've mentioned, a masquerade ball. So she has brought him his mask for tonight. He's going to be, I think, a wolf, I think is what he said. But he's like, this is like some Illuminati shit. True, he ain't wrong. And you want to be a part of this, though, Rob. Let's be real. Anyways, let's get off of that because we just had to get through that. So let's move on to Soulja Boy, the one who came out with Zara Baby, yeah, yeah. The song that he never wrote for Kimberly. Anyway, he's like, listen, I got an advantage. Okay. He says, I'm African. And I'm like, what does African have to do with anything? Sir, what advantages do you think you have is because you're African? I don't get it. Then I understood. He says, we got big penises. I mean, it's huge, he says. And he's like, because he's African is the reason he has a huge dick. Sir, listen, you know what? Gather round, everybody. Gather round. And if anyone can relate to what I'm about to say, join me in this. For people who have potentially dated a lot of African men, yes, me, hi. Like I said, I've dated Nigerian men. I have dated, uh, been involved with guys from Ghana, guys from Uganda, guys in Nigeria. Where else? Somalia. I didn't have sex with that guy from Kenya, so I can't use that one. Who else? Congo, um, Tunisia, and last but not least, I think I've covered everybody. South Africa. That's who I'm currently with now. They don't all have big dicks. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I have been with a Nigerian man who has a decent one, and I've been with a Nigerian man who didn't. If anything, let me tell you where they are. The men in my experience, Ghana, Congo, Jesus. Oh boy, the guys from the Congo. Whoa. um, um, sorry, babe, if you're listening. He's not. South Africa as well. Whew. That's where I've been pleasantly surprised. Nigerian men all don't have big dicks. And again, at the end of the day, even my boyfriend would say, listen, the whole Africans have big dicks thing, it's a stereotype. It's not real. Just like they say Jamaican men all have big dicks. No, they don't. They fuck good though, but they don't. And honestly, it's like, really, if you have to constantly talk about the size of your member, chances are it's not that big. Like, I don't look at Usman and think, huge. I mean, I say it's maybe slightly above average, but the man doesn't know how to use it. He really doesn't. Yeah, he sucks in bed. There's just no way. You can't convince me otherwise. Anyways, he then kind of says, you know, I'm a singer, so I can sing for you. I'm sorry, what? We're gonna get a taste of him singing, quote unquote. I think it's in the next episode. Sir, stop. Stop while you're ahead. Don't stop now because I need the entertainment, but stop. He also says he has his new single out, it's ready to go. I don't know if he says that, but we hear a song. The one that we heard on not Pillow Talk, sorry, Diaries. Um, I mean, I hate how good it sounds. But he doesn't make it sound good. It's the beats, the music. The music makes it sound good. He doesn't do that. Um, so anyways, he's like, listen, I don't want to see Ed and I don't want to see Angela. Same. Thank God we don't see either of them. I personally think Angela's been fired. Let's hope and pray. Anyway, now it's masquerade party time, y'all. We haven't seen everybody yet. We're about to. So we see that we have what I'm calling for the remainder of my episodes, I think, unless I feel something a little different. I think every person's going to get like their own personality here, to an extent. Not everybody, some people. Anyways, um, so I may come up with like nicknames for you, but at the end of the day, you're all in my heart's randoms. You're all going to be randoms. Maybe they'll be like randos or whatever, but you're going to be called randoms. Okay. So we're seeing some of those randoms, but let's continue. We hear a very, very familiar voice. Very familiar. A man of a voice that sounds like he's probably going to die in a few minutes. You know, we know it's Tim. Tim is here. He looks like the Beast, like Beauty and the Beast. He talks to some girl who's 24 years old. And when he hears that she's 24 years old, he's like, I'm 44. I don't really want to get involved with a 24-year-old. At least he has some standards. Um, he's like, I feel old. He says that the only physical trait that he is kind of fixated on is a girl with the long, dark hair. He's got a type, y'all. He's like, I don't want to die alone. I don't think he does. So he says the clock is ticking. And I'm like, you usually don't hear men say the clock is ticking, but hey, he's like, I'm in my mid 40s. So he's gonna go out there and pretend to like people. And I've never related to someone more. I swear, every time I leave my house, I have to go out there and pretend I like people. I don't. I don't like people. I tolerate people. I don't like them though. Anyways, enough of Tim and him pretending to like people. Let's move on to the joy of this show right now. The absolute joy. The finally TLC Sharp is hearing us. Courtney, she is here and I am so happy. Ahem. I think when people meet me, they think I'm dumb, but like I use that to my advantage because I'm really smart. Like she actually did like go to school and we'll go to talk about that after, but like the guy I was going to marry, he like lied to me about being married and having kids. Turns out he had like 2 ex-wives and 4 kids. Like, fuck, can you believe that? Like, then she spots Usman, whatever. And I'm like, oh no. Apparently, they vacationed together in Istanbul. Oh no. They hung out. She stayed at his hotel. No. But then when they left, he kind of ghosted her. Let it go. He ain't it, honey. He ain't it. Your picker's all the way off if you want to be hooking up with Usman of all people. First of all, the running joke in this is he ain't your type. You're not old enough. Like, it's just, I don't know. She could do so much better than freaking Usman. Oh, Jesus. Anyways, more on that later. Because in walks the most dramatic thing I could have ever asked for. I feel bad for Tim though, but this is going to be really exciting because this, you, you all know what you did over there at Sharp Productions. Whew. Because in walks Jennifer. And now, if you're not a part of the 90-day universe very much and you don't know the details here, Jennifer and Tim were dating. This is how we met. The both of them was on that season, and it didn't go good. I got my thoughts and feelings on that in a second, though. Um, Rob's like, who is that? Like, listen, Jennifer's gorgeous. She's stunning. Okay, she's beautiful, but she's a horrible human. So Rob and her are meant for each other. Anyways, then we see Colty in the distance. I think he's dancing. I don't even know what he was doing, but he's there. We see Rob talking to this girl. She's one of our randoms. Her name is Elise. We're going to, she has a name because, yo, whoa. He's like, you like bad boys? Yeah, a little bit. I also like to be told what to do. Already, it's, you guys, you guys have been talking for like a minute. You literally tell him, dominate me, daddy. Like, what is going on? I've never uttered those words in my life. But I'm just saying, my God, she's not going to be around for much longer. She is perfect for TV. Then Courtney goes and talks to Usman, and I'm like, girl, please no. Leave him be. Leave him alone. And she's like, I think we've met before. And this fucker is literally like, we have? He says he's joking, pretending not to know who she is. But you can't eat. Courtney is such a literal person that she can't even like read a joke. She's literally gonna think this ass doesn't remember me. Like, oh, anyways. She still missed the thing. I just want better for her. Anyways, then the dating coaches come in and combined between the three of them, they have 20 years of or two of them, I should say, sorry, have 20 years experience doing what they do. They have planned mixers and other things, so it's going to be an interesting situation. Courtney, though, in her Courtney delight, is like, this sounds like a lot of work. I was just planning on getting white girl wasted. Please get white girl wasted. Please do this for us. This is going to be great. So now's the time for them. Because let's remember, they're all masks. Some of them have figured out who's who. Like Courtney obviously knows it's us men. Some other people kind of hear the voice and kind of know like who's who. Um, but we're gonna finally unmask here. And when when they all unmask, and it's so dramatic, they like pull off the mask, it's like slow-mo, and it's just like, oh, like it's so dramatic. It's amazing. But when Tim sees Jennifer, he's like, what the fuck? Who goes on vacation with their ex-girlfriend? No one. This is no good. Courtney is like, Courtney, oh my God. When she realizes that Tim and Jennifer are in the same room, she literally points to Jennifer and she says, Tim's here. Girl, she's amazing. She's going to be so good for the show. Um, the randoms are like, wait, hold on. Y'all know each other? they don't realize that they're on 90 Day Fiancé, and they're like, "The fuck? I thought we're all randoms. Y'all know each other." So, um, they're like, apparently some of these people already know each other from, like, some TV show or something. Come on, even if you don't watch 90 Day Fiancé, you must know. I think there are some people who don't know 90 Day Fiancé, but come on, really? Anyway, Tim pulls Tiffany aside to ask her, like, should I talk to Jen? Because, like, let's not forget again, for those who I think I covered this season, I can't remember now. Um, but in the season where Tim and Veronica were both on the single life, plus we also had Jennifer and Jesse who came together. I think that was the second season of the show. Um, It was an absolute nightmare because when they finally all came together and we have both of these fools, um, shaming Tim and whatever, it was a nightmare. Like, this is no good. But Tiffany says, yeah, go for it. Go talk to her. That's a bad idea. Let's leave it alone. But she's an absolute hothead, he says. And Tiffany's like, I mean, she seems sweet. No, she's a nightmare. But he's like, I thought so too. But here's the thing, I think I'll talk about it here, because we see this a lot throughout, the episodes that we've received so far, is that Jennifer can't help herself. She has to constantly talk about Tim. Now, mind you, he's talking too, but she has to constantly talk about Tim, and more so of anything, talking about his sexuality. If he's gay, whatever. Oh, he did this, oh, he did that, which we'll talk about later. I think all this sums up to is Jennifer is so mad that a man turned her down, that a man did not want to have sex with her, that a man actually wanted to get to know her. I think she is like, she doesn't quite, her brain can't comprehend a man does not wanting to have sex with her. I think that's all this comes down to. It's shallow way of thinking. Anyway, Tim goes to talk to her while she's talking to another random. And he's just like, I just don't want there to be bad blood and all this. That they're kind of going back and forth on this. The random's like, y'all want privacy? Should I leave? She said, no, 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 that's not necessary. See, here's the thing. And again, why do we need to even bring this up? Horrible. She says, here's the thing. So, like, me and him used to date, but he was like, has a big mouth saying shit. So I said shit about him because, like, of course, like, you're gonna talk shit about me, I'm gonna talk shit about you. But I mean, like, I got secrets that he wouldn't want to know or anyone to know. And I'm thinking, like, my girl has proof of what she's been saying, proof of the shaming. Y'all, her little secret is gonna be a nothing. But we'll get to that later. Then Chantel, we see her talking to Tim, and he says, Jen is a gold digger. Maybe. And of course, the problem is that you can't talk about gold diggers to Chantel because all she's going to do is equate it to her experience with Pedro and all the shit her mother has said about harvesting the American dollar, and all the shit. So she says, I hate gold diggers who just want a green card. Who mentioned a green card? You did. And as again, are we talking about Jennifer? Or are we talking about Pedro? Which again, I don't think he did. But yeah. She's like, they abuse the system. There it is about the harvesting the American dollar rhetoric. But she says she has not seen Pedro because I think Tim kind of asked, like, have you talked to him or whatever. She says she hasn't seen him since the last time they filmed together, which would have been I guess it's about 3 years ago. Not quite 3 years ago, maybe about 2 years ago. So they have not seen each other, but you know what? That's okay. She doesn't know where he is. Also, that's okay. So, anyways, we move on past that because we have Usman and Cortney talking, and he says, listen, girl, of course I know you. I was just playing. Whatever. Meanwhile, they're talking to Chantel, and oh, sorry, while they're talking, Chantel is like, I don't like this. And the thing is, because she's like, I know they spent time together in Istanbul, but here's the thing, I've also heard things about him that, like, it's not good. So we'll get to that in a second. We then see Rob talking to Elise. That's one of our randoms. She says, you know, his high's a little bit of an issue, but it's okay. She tells him, like, you're the number one. What? Girl, we just got here. We literally just got here. We are an hour in, and you're already claiming a number one? Shit. And it's Rob. I mean, listen, I know he's gorgeous. I'm not saying he's not, but he's a dick. She's like, I want to kiss you. Bitch, we just got here. Damn, slow down. He literally says, whoa, hold on a second. Let's pump the brakes. The first interaction. It's not like give it all away on the first day. And she's like, oh my God, like, you're rejecting me. No, he's putting in a boundary. I mean, in my mind, if I thought Rob was a good person, he's respecting you here. Why wouldn't you like that? Anyway, she then says this, which I don't want to talk about women's bodies, but I'm going to have to talk about this. She says, people see me in a bikini and like they think that, oh, her ass is so big. I got a big butt for a white girl. So he says, all right, show me. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone for a second. He says, "Show me." She's like, "I'm not gonna show you my ass. Like you just rejected me. You gotta kiss me first, and then I'll do it." I mean, I'm respecting her game here, but again, hour one. God damn. So they do. He kisses her. Night one, hour one. Damn. And everyone's like, "Shit, that was quick." Then she shows him her ass, and y'all, it's not big. I've seen big asses on white girls. This isn't it. Okay. And the thing is, it's like, honey, you might have like a nice ass, but I wouldn't classify it as a big ass because if you only knew the ass that is on his soon to be ex-wife, yeah, that's an ass. That's an ass. And that's what he's expecting because if anything, Rob loved that ass. So it's like, okay, it's nothing to go home about. Anyway, Jenna's like, I like Cole, but Rob, he's hot too. Again, you guys are perfect for each other. Anyways, she's like, but he's already kissing Elise. You know what it gives me though? It gives me fuckboy vibes. Well, we have kind of heard him pretty much say, I was once a fuckboy. We know that he was online cheating on Sophie with other women. Fuckboy. And again, yeah, he's here in this moment. I mean, yeah, let him be a fuckboy. Whatever. He was not getting any from his wife prior to this. So whatever. But again, takes a fuck girl to know a fuckboy though, doesn't it? Just saying. So yeah, I think we're gonna end it here. We're gonna take a break here. Not end it. We're gonna take a break here. And when we come back, we will jump in with the rest of the episode. Have you ever thought of starting your very own podcast? Doing the research, I found something that would have made editing easy and seamless and makes the podcasting experience just that much easier. And I am talking about Ludo. This is a podcast software that I use for our editing of our episodes. It is amazing. It is easy. You're also able to get help from doing chats and getting the information that maybe you just need a little more help with. They also have access to different articles that can also help you that have been just godsends for me. Also, with the Ludo, you can create clips, you can do your ads, that's like this very one I'm doing right now, and you can create your trailer very seamlessly just by the clicks of buttons. You can also use a Ludo to publish your episodes just straight from the software. It's so easy. I highly recommend it. You can get access to a Ludo by using our unique link, which you can find on our show notes, just down there at the bottom at the show notes. And you can get access to an easy software. And I am back. So, we are kicking off with Chantel and Usman talking. And he's like, were you surprised to see me? And she's like, I don't know you. Oh God, this whole thing is so stupid. She's like, I've never met you. He's like, well, how do you not know me? Especially after she literally is just like, you may not know him personally because you haven't met him, but you know of him because you were just talking about him. So he's like, do you know Jamal? People, he says Jamal. She's like, oh yeah, I read some things. So then we start fighting about logistics, which is basically like what I mean by this is so stupid, is because he's arguing with like, you know me. You maybe I don't remember you know of me. And she's like, I don't know you. I don't know you unless I meet you. It's so stupid on both of them. It's just like, will both of you just shut up about this? Like, who cares really? And he says, I know she has been talking shit about me, which clearly means you know me. Um, and she says, like, I read on the blogs that he is a scammer and he just wants a green card. Well, that's people's opinions. But then that's just not necessarily his truth. And do I agree with the opinions? Absolutely. Of course I do. But you can't base your knowledge at a person because of people's opinions. You know what I mean? Anyway, then we see Rob walking Elise to her room. Nothing more happens. We leave it at that for now. So meanwhile, we have a 90-day, what I'm calling a 90-day powwow in Tiffany's room. We got Tiffany, we got Tim, we got Chantel, we have Usman, Colty. I think that's it. So Tim says, I used to send Jen all this money. She said she'd be struggling, helping with her, her family, whatever. Then we start talking about culty sex drive, which is like, listen, I know too much already. I didn't ask for this, but here we are. He apparently says that he can go 7 rounds in one day. Why did I need, like I said, I didn't ask or wanted. Courtney's like, with whom? Himself and the computer? Because, like, first of all, what woman's going 7 rounds in a day? I mean, I've done it, but as a 22-year-old who didn't have much else going on, when you are in your 30s, there's so much that needs to be done. 7 rounds of fucking sex. I don't even know, man. Tim, though, comes in with the 1-2 punch, literally, and it's like, you would think with 7 rounds of sex that he would be in better shape. God damn. Shit. That was harsh. That was harsh. Us men apparently thought that Chantel was pretty before, and he is saying this in front of Courtney. Oh, I forgot to say Courtney's here too. He is saying this in front of Courtney, and Chantel's like, "Well, I'm just gonna say, like, you came at me pretty aggressively because, like, you're so concerned whether or not I know you." But it's like, again, who cares? And Courtney is like, "Well, I think he's butthurt because you call him a scammer while we were in Istanbul." Which again, that just goes to show Chantel is saying shit to Courtney, and then Courtney's then relaying that shit to Usman because she can't help herself, which then causes this rift. Chantel's like, well, here's the thing. He is saying to Courtney that she says number one, yet in front of Courtney, he's telling me that I'm the pretty, like basically, make up your mind, you're confusing. Or he's playing games. Whomever will give him what he wants. But Usman says, like, why am I a scammer? And she's like, well, I saw things online. And he says, listen, I'm kind of sick of this because like I'm being perceived as a scammer because of where I come from, which I can understand for sure. People tend to have a bad feeling or think badly on Nigerians because of they are known to be scammers. Now, here's the thing. I have dealt with three Nigerians off the top of my head, all scammed in different ways. I had one that played me, I had one that played others, and then I had another one who tried. You know what I mean? Now that's just the hand that's dealt, but I get him. I get what he's saying here. Colty's like, I don't think it's about the country of origin because it's more because of the fact that he dates old white ladies who buy him PlayStations. That was good. And I guess it is the fact that you're dating older women, which again is a trope that, in particular, African men do, dating older women to get American, to get them to the States, and then that's kind of that. Um, but on the other hand, he can be perceived as a scammer because of his place of origin, when the place of origin is Nigeria, um, especially. So, Culty wrong there, and I think is just you're incapable of seeing it as a white, mediocre man. So, anyways, then it's the next day, and the couples are getting to choose one of two things, mixers or whatever, that they get to do that day. So they have speed dating and flirting 101. Jen is here, kind of, feeling this out, and she is told about both. And she says, well, let me ask you, which one is Tim doing? Because, like, I don't know if I want to be a part of that. She's like, he won't get anyone here. He should honestly do flirting 101 because he sucks. Ma'am, can we please not forget he clearly didn't suck that badly because he still caught your attention initially. So I'm just saying. But basically, the lady kind of says to her, like, I don't know where he's gonna be, but I would stick to your first instinct. And clearly, her first instinct was to do the speed dating. So that is what she's gonna do. We then see Rob and Usman, they're eating, and he's like, I don't know why Usman is even here because, like, I feel like an old age home is more of his scene. They're so mean to him. They're just dogging on him. It's so funny. Um, then Jen comes by after, I guess, picking what she's doing, and Usman starts talking about what Tim was saying the night before about him and Jen, saying that he was supporting her, buying things for her family. And she says, that's not true. Like, I don't need a man to support me. Bullshit. bullshit. She definitely was, at the very least, let's just say she wasn't necessarily asking for anything, but he gave things to her, whether it was out of the kindness of his heart or there was things that she was saying that led him to think, you need the help. I don't buy for a minute that this man did not send her money. You're full of shit. They ask her, did y'all have sex? She says no, obviously, and Rob's like, why? And she says, I think that he is a sexual freak. Okay. What? What? It didn't turn out the way she was expecting because I hear he's a freak. I'm like, so are so is everybody, and in the wrong way. And she says, let me tell you the tea, because I have a secret. And you're thinking, okay, this is gonna be huge, right? No. She basically says, one time we went to a strip club, a male strip club, and he paid a guy to dance for me and he watched. Big secret, huh? No, this is not a big secret. Do I think he could have done that? Yes. Do I fully believe it's the way she's portraying it? No. But what I will say here too is just because he paid a male stripper potentially to dance on you doesn't equate gay. It just doesn't. That could be a myriad of things. It could, the main thing that I'm thinking this is, based on what she's saying, is voyeurism. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. If he's a voyeur and he likes watching some man dancing up on her and her being aroused, um or him like watching her potentially get fucked by some guy or something, that's not like something to be ashamed of. He's into that, then whatever. Like, who cares? And she's thinking it's this big thing. And to me, I'm hearing this and I'm like, there's nothing that you're saying that makes me think, oh, he's a gay then. Nothing. You're full of it. She says, he was so excited. Again, the voyeurism. He said with his ex that he would like to go to swingers parties. Again, what are you achieving here? Because the whole time your narrative has been he's gay, he's gay, he's gay. Where it's like you're talking about him buying a stripper to dance on you, so he watches. That tells me voyeur. You then go and say that him and his ex were doing swinging parties. That just again shows me voyeur. Um Openness, whatever. Like, these are not because he's doing these things means he's gay or even queer. It just means he's doing pretty, in my honest opinion, pretty normal things that heterosexual people do, especially men. So it's just like, what is he talking about? Anyways, enough of that for now. Elise tells us, like, I do think Rob would be a pretty, like, good lay, sure. And she's like, he was texting me last night, making sure that I was okay. Hold on to that one though. Apparently, Elise was telling people, like, I have been to this resort before. Okay, cool. So you know your way around things. But then she throws in this little tidbit, and I'm just like, girl, you just met these people. She says, this was the place where I did anal for the first time. Holy shit. So I think from now on, I'm going to have to call her Anal Elise. I think I might. Anyway, and Tip is like, she's like one of the bros. I kind of like it. Tim, you're not helping. You're not helping. Shush, 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 shush. You're telling me that you're, which it doesn't matter, but you're telling me you're straight. Saying things like that doesn't help. That's all I'm saying. I picture like Shawn Wayans from I think it's Scary Movie where it's like he's trying so hard to say like I'm straight, but then he's doing all these different things. That's Tim. Yeah. Anyways, we're kicking off speed dating with the twist. We're doing it in a hot tub. That's the twist. And guess what, y'all? Jen and Tim are on the same mixer. So much for trying to avoid the situation. So Rob and Chantel are doing it first along with some of the randoms. The others are going down to the beach and drinking. So May, we kind of see her with Rob, asks, "Do you even polygamy?" Off the bat, huh? Calm down. You just met. Maybe she's asking that question because she's like, I literally just saw this guy making out with Elise like 2 seconds ago. I heard someone else say, "Oh, this cherry is huge." They're the ones that were like one of the actually two randoms drinking the champagne with cherry in it. They were shooting a cherry in it, and it's like cherry's just so huge, so big. Like, why is it so big? Like, did they have like hormones or something? It's so big, and then the guy she's with is like, yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah, it's so big. I don't get it. Like, what? Oh, you know what? It's because it's in the champagne and the reflection from inside the champagne makes it bigger. Yeah, no shit. What a dumb conversation. Anyways, meanwhile at the beach, Elise is like, I have proposed to you like 5 times and engaged 3 times. Okay, Brian. Jesus. Like, they're like, did you keep the ring? She's like, I'm wearing one right now. Jen's like, listen, you want to be a slut? Be a slut. Enjoy it. I have been a slut and I did enjoy it. In my early 20s, I'm not like that bad anymore. I slept for one person. Anyways, the guy with Chantel, initially, the first guy asks, what would your ex say about you? Who asks that a question? He's my ex for a reason. He might say things like, oh, she's a dumb bitch. She's controlling. She's manipulative. She doesn't clean. She hated my family. Her family's insane. Like, I got in a fight with her brother once. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that her ex would say. Like, who asked this kind of question? Because it's like, you're not going to get like a good thing out of my ex. Um, but she says, which made no sense. She's like, where's my money? Yeah, where's my money? Like, I took his money out of the account once during the divorce, yeah. It's partially my money though too, but, like, yeah, I took it out of the bank account. Then he says, like, to her at the end, this guy, he's like, "We're switching, it's great, blah, blah, blah," but then he says, "That was a long 2 minutes." I don't know if he meant, like, "Oh, that was a long 2 minutes," like, felt longer than 2 minutes, or if which still doesn't sound great, or he's kind of like, "Shit, damn, like, that conversation was so stupid, that was a long 2 minutes." You know what I mean? I wanna say the latter. I think he was like, "This bitch is nuts." Like, I don't know. Anyways, back at the beach, we're like, "So, what's the deal with Tim and Jen?" Because, like, they're here and they're awkward. He says, super mean things about me, or so she says that he says super mean things about me. Bitch, you out here saying he's gay when he's saying he ain't gay. So who's really saying mean things about the other? I'm just saying. One person asked, like, would you guys reconnect? You don't even know. They barely connected in the first place. Um, were they like, no, I don't think so. No. What about being friends? No. Mm-mm. We don't need to be friends. The cult is so sweaty. It's disgusting. Like, so sweaty. Ugh. Ugh. Anyways, then we get this revelation from Chantel. This is interesting. She tells us that she was hanging with friend Ashley If you remember, we did see her in 90 Day Diaries. We talked about her briefly. They were drinking, letting loose, having fun. And Ashley tells her, I have feelings for you. And then they kiss. And Chantel says, I liked it. She kissed a girl and she liked it, y'all. But she says, I felt overwhelmed because I never saw myself dating a woman. Here's the thing. We're going to break this one down here. I felt overwhelmed because my mom is going to disown me. My parents would never accept this. My family would never accept this. So I've never explored this. This was always been off limits. I do feel like in Chantel's mind, she could never be a lesbian, queer, bi, because of her family, which is why maybe this has taken so long. So like, so what does this mean for my dating and sex life if I were to be gay? And she says like, does that make me a lesbian? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Um, no, I think she still has a lot of exploring to do on that front, but she needs therapy. It's the end of the day, Chantel needs therapy. She jumped from this into trying to find the next man in Greece to whatever. She needs to be alone for a bit. I don't know if she will. But anyways, that is it, y'all. That is it for the first episode of Hunter Love. I'm hoping that we can get to the next episode later today, but if not, then it will be tomorrow. But anyways, that is it, guys. That is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.